So, good evening, Chag Sameach. We're going to begin our service. Welcome to those of you who are joining us from home. Welcome to those who are here. I'm going to begin by lighting candles. Just a word of explanation. Because it is Sukkot, there's a tradition of not making the holiday feel embarrassed and therefore not doing Kabbalat Shabbat. But we'll do other things to make Shabbat special and to welcome in both the Sabbath and the holiday with real joy. So with that, I'm going to light candles. Want to make sure that it's the candle lighting for a regular Shabbat. There's so many moving pieces. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu mitzvosav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. So, and with that, we're going to take a moment to bless ourselves and our loved ones. And if your loved ones are with you, or if you get to see in person people that you don't get to see as often, you can put an arm around them if you so choose. And if your loved ones are a little further away, you can hold them in your heart. And you can also put a hand on your own heart and bless yourselves. Be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are. May you be healthy, may you be safe, and live with ease. Amen. So, and actually, I am all higgledy-piggledy. Just because we are not doing Kabbalat Shabbat does not mean that I don't need a Siddur. With that, we're going to turn to page 213 for a song that we don't usually sing, but that should be familiar. Hine ma tov, how good it is to be together. In the middle of the page. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. הנה אמתו שבת אחים גם יחד. So with that, I found this wonderful poem by a Yiddish poet named Yankov Glatstein. And it was so delicious. I had to bring it for Sukkot. Praying the Sunset Prayer. I'll let you in on a little secret about how one should pray the Sunset Prayer. It's a juicy bit of praying, like strolling on grass. Nobody's chasing you, nobody hurries you. You walk toward your Creator with gifts in pure, empty hands. The words are golden. Their meaning is transparent. It's as though you're saying them for the first time. If you don't catch on that you should feel a little elevated, you're not praying the Sunset Prayer. The tune is sheer simplicity. You're just lending a helping hand to the sinking day. It's a heavy responsibility. You take a created day and you slip it into the archive of life where all our lived out days are lying together. The day is departing with a quiet kiss. It lies open at your feet while you stand saying the blessings. You can't create anything yourself, but you can lead the day to its end and see clearly the smile of its going down. See how whole it is, not diminished for a second, how you age with the days that keep dawning, how you bring your lived out day as a gift to eternity. I hear that and I think about the sunsets that are coming earlier and earlier and that are so gorgeous over the trees. It is a perfect time of day in a perfect season. With that, we're going to turn to page 320. We usually say this as part of the Song of the Sea. It's also a part of Hallel. The first line on this page, I sing to God who rescued me. God is my strength. We're going to do a couple of rounds of this. Ozi, Zimradya, Vayehili, Lishua, 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 Ozi, Zimradya, Vayehili, Lishua. I love that we have harmonies and rounds going in the room here. So with that, we're going to turn back to the more familiar parts of our evening service. We're going to turn to page 27 for the special psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot ladonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשר ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור, מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. Tzadik Tamar Yifrach, Geres Bavanon Yizgeh, Shetulim Beveit Adonai, Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu. Od yenuvun b'seva, d'shenim v'rananim yehu lehagid, ki yashar Adonai tzuri v'lo avlatabo. We continue on the following page, page 29, with the interpretive translation on the margins of the page of Psalm 93. Entwined in worlds, enwrapped in glory you are. So it has been, and so it is. Eternally you are. Waves pounding out their song reach up to God from their depths. For the song of the sea, beaten to the sound of the breakers, tells of God within. These are proof enough for the faithful that you are the Lord of time. And we continue on the facing page at the caret. Mikolot Maim, Maim Rabim Adirim, Mishberei Yam, Adir Bamarom Adonai, Eidotecha, Nemnu Meod, Leveitcha Navakodesh, Adonai Leorech Yamim, Ay la 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 la, ay la 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 la, ay la 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 la, ay la 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 la. With that, we're going to turn. We can't do a proper mourner's Kaddish. We don't have 10 people in the room, but we'll do the prayer that's in the margins here for when one does not have a minyan. Mourners and those observing a yard site, please rise if you're able. Ribono shel olam, Elohei haruchot l'chol basar, Master of the world, God of the spirit of all flesh, it's revealed and known before you that it is our fervent desire to praise your name and to remember and honor our loved ones by reciting the mourner's Kaddish in the company of a minyan. May our presence here in community find favor in your eyes and be accepted and received before you as if we had prayed the Kaddish. May your name, God, be elevated and sanctified everywhere on earth, and may peace reign everywhere. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. So, with that, gonna offer a brief devar. Good Shabbos, Chag Sameach. Because we're celebrating this Shabbat during the holiday of Sukkot, I wanted to talk about the custom of inviting ushpizin into our Sukkot. This is a Kabbalistic custom dating back to medieval Spain, and it involves inviting the spirits of our ancestors into our sukkah, focusing on a different pair each night and asking them to bring the others with them when they come. Each set of guests is associated with different Kabbalistic sfirot, different aspects of the divine. The first night, we invite Abraham and Sarah, who were known for their hospitality to guests and who serve as a model for us in that. Our tradition teaches that their tent was open on all sides so they could see any passerby and offer them food, drink, and shelter. As they traveled from place to place, Abraham taught the men and Sarah taught the women, and they were true partners in their work. And whenever we invite guests into our sukkah, we are following their model and their example. The second night are Isaac and Rebekah. Together they stand for stability and continuity, because not every generation can be revolutionary if you want things to last centuries, millennia. Isaac redug his father's wells, and Rebekah helped ensure that their son Jacob would inherit rather than his more impulsive brother Esau. The third night, we welcome Jacob and his first wife, Leah. And on the fourth, we welcome Rachel and her son Joseph. On the fifth night, we focus on Moses and Miriam, who led the people in song on their journey to freedom. The sixth is dedicated to Aaron, who was the first high priest and who was known for making peace between people so that they could really be in community with each other. And mirroring him is Deborah, who was a judge and a leader in war. So we've got peace and war coming together. And peace covers war and makes it gentle, makes it only for the reasons that we need and rarely. And for the seventh night, we call on Ruth and her descendant King David, who bring with them the promise of the Messiah and the hope of a better future. For the Kabbalists, this was a way to meditate on different aspects of God. They would put special chairs in the sukkah and pile them with books and keepsakes that focused on those qualities that their ancestors represented for them. For others, it's simply a lovely reminder that Sukkot is a time for hospitality and togetherness, and that it's a mitzvah to invite guests over for a meal in the sukkah. But we can also take it as an opportunity to acknowledge loved ones of ours who are gone, whom we wish we could share a meal with, or to think about legendary figures from our family histories, or more broadly from world history, with whom we would love to have a conversation. So I want to leave you with this question, and we can maybe discuss it over dinner. Who do you wish you could invite to your sukkah? Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. So with that, we are not able to do the Baruch Hu because we are short of a minyan. So we are going to offer the evening prayers if we are able. We're going to turn to page 39. And it's very similar to what we would normally do, but we just skip the first two lines. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher gila nasa b'yom hashvi'i. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamari Varavim. Page 40. Avat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah Mitzvot Chukim Umishpatim Otanu Limadeta Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shachveinu U'verkumeinu Nasiach B'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha li'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu v'yorech yameinu u'vahem negei yomam v'layla v'avarchaltas yomimenu li'olamim. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol meodecha, V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'shach b'cha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam lehot al yedecha v'hayu l'totafo b'einenecha Uchtavtam Amazizot Beitecha Uvisharecha. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 44. Malchuto bratzon kiblu alehem Moshe Miriam uvnei Israel chanu shira v'simcha rava v'yamru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osef eleh Malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokeyem lifnei Moshe ze'eli anu v'yamru Adonai imloch leolam va'ed v'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov ugeolom et chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. We continue with Hashkivenu on page 45, and the idea of getting God to spread a sukkah of peace over us is such a perfect image for tonight. We'll do the first three and the last three lines together, and we'll do the rest quietly to ourselves. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, amen. Afros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Hapores sukat shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol amo Yisrael, Ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise if you're able for Vishamru, page 46. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבה וינפש. וידבר משה במועדי אדוני אל בני ישראל. We move past Chatzi Kaddish. We're going to do just a private Amidah tonight, and we'll take some time to go through that. There is a special paragraph that we add for holidays, Ya'aleh v'Yavo, and so we'll begin on page 47, and please include that paragraph with the lines for Sukkot when you get there. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה Bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. You may be seated for just a moment. I am conscious of our hopes that we will have a lasting peace, that the hostages will finally all come home, that this chair that has been our companion, symbolizing Alon Ohel, will get to return from the Bima, and that Alon Ohel himself will be back with his family and able to heal. I want to read the poem by Tamara Cohen on the margins of page 51. Shalom Rav. Spread your peace over us like a vast quilt crafted by strong and patient hands. Plant it deep within us like a million seeds claiming life in the heart's moist soil. Grant it now to those born your people, to those who have walked winding paths to become so, to those still burdened by history, to those with no memory of want or fear. Grant a generous peace. To those who reach for it through the steady breath of the body, to those who grasp for it in a child home from the reserves, to those on the streets for the rights of others, to those on guard for the safety of their own. With abundant, gentle blessing, Master of Peace, kiss all of us good night. Ordinarily at this point we would do Kiddush and Hamotzi. We're going to save that for when we're in the Sukkah so that we can fulfill the blessing of the mitzvah of eating and drinking in the Sukkah. So with that, we're going to turn to page 56 for Aleinu. Please rise if you're able. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latei gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei aratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot hadama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu noteh shamayim ve'yosed haaretz, u'Moshe v'ikaro b'shamayim mimahal, u'shchinatu zo, ve'gave meromim, hu Eloheinu ein hod, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatuv b'torato, Viratayom ve'ashivota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, b'shamayim mimahal, ve'al haaretz mitachat ein hod. Yod. Kakatuv b'toratecha Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom ahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. We're going to turn to page 59 for one of the last times that we're going to be offering the psalm for the season. We're coming up to the end. L'David Adonai orivi shi mimira, Adonai me'oz chayai mimi evchad. In the bold or the red, Achat shalti meit Adonai otavakesh. Achat shalti meit Adonai otavakesh. Shivti b'veit Adonai kol yemei chayai. Lachazot b'noam Adonai l'vaker b'heichalo. Lachazot b'noam Adonai l'vaker b'heichalo. In a time of calamity, you would hide me in your sukkah, enfold me in the secret recesses of your tent, and now you raise me up to be a stronghold. Second line from the bottom. Lule emanti, liro betuv Adonai, beretz chaim, kavel Adonai, chazak v'yameitz libecha, v'kavel Adonai. With that, I am mindful that we do not have a minyan, but we want to do our best to honor those that we have lost, particularly those whose yahrzeits fall this week. This week in our community, we are mindful of the yahrzeits of Helen Hyman, Harvey S. Fishman, Evelyn Fishman, Judy Fleischman, Elliot Heyman, Norman Pearlstein, Ann Siegel, Nathan Shapiro, Edith Braverman, Evelyn Rice, Harry L. Smith, Nathan Berkowitz, George Grobtuck, Norman Lappin, Abraham Shapiro, Louis Schuster, Marilyn Wartzman, Flo Creed Jacobson, Beverly Friedman, and Charles Peel. Are there other names which we should add? With that, we turn back to page 30. Mourners and those observing a yahrzeit, please rise if you're able. Ribono shel olam, Elohei haruchot l'chol basar, Master of the world, God of the spirit of all flesh, it's revealed and known before you that it is our fervent desire to praise your name and to remember and honor our beloved, all those who we have lost, by reciting the Mourner's Kaddish in the company of a minyan. May our presence here today with our community find favor in your eyes and be accepted and received before you as if we had prayed the Kaddish. May your name, Adonai, be elevated and sanctified everywhere on earth, and may peace reign everywhere. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Bimru, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach, Do you want me to take a crack at announcements? Okay. Please join us tomorrow at 10 here in the sanctuary or online for Shabbat morning services, followed by a delicious Kiddush. Profuse thank you to Anne, to Harriet for helping with cooking, to make the pizza in the hut for tonight. Thank you for everyone who is here. Anne and Harriet and Dina, just us chickens. I am very grateful for your presence. It is wonderful to daven with you. Later this week, please join us online for Minyan at 7:30, pretty much every night except for the night of Simchas Torah, when we will be here dancing and singing with the Torah. It'll be wonderful. And please join us in person or online for Shmini Atzeret services and Simchat Torah services. Shmini Atzeret services in the morning will include Yizkor. The evening services preceding them will not. So be here in person the day of. There is game day this week.
Wednesday morning services start early at 9:30.
Thank you, yes. And Simchas Torah services on Wednesday start at 9:30 instead of the usual 10. Be here bright and early. You'll still miss rush hour traffic. And you'll get to help us not only celebrate the Torah, but to honor Marvin and Roz as our Chatan Torah and Kalat Breshit, and to thank them for what a gift they are to our community. I think that's, no?
Anthony Samarco is coming to speak on that
Right.
on Sunday.
We have a speaker this coming Sunday on the history of Mattapan. It should be really interesting. Even if you feel like you are here forever for all the holidays, it is worth coming back for this. It is going to be a delight. Okay, I think that is everything. That is quite a lot. I think because there's just a handful of us here, rather than doing turn, 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 which is going to be a lot if it's just us, let's turn and do Shalom Aleichem and welcome some Shabbos angels into our sukkah. We're going to turn all the way back to page 5 at the bottom. And this time we all get to sing together. We don't have to worry about muting or unmuting ourselves. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Good Shabbos, Chag Sameach. We will continue with Kiddush and Motzi out in the Sukkah.